You know, I've had a lot going on. Life has really been handing it to me and my family lately. And as Ada mentioned, there's been stuff like, family medical issues with my daughter. I started a new job recently. We thought we could sell our house at the same time, and it's been hard to put in time and keep focus. So much that I thought about canceling tonight. I talked about it. So much that I printed out, and then now I'm reading it off my screen, this piece that I'm reading you tonight. When I usually do everything from memory, just not tonight. I thought it was kind of funny or ironic that I might have to man up or just be a man to not cancel a show called Am I Man Enough? I decided to get myself together and just make it work. The show must go on. With just 2 days to go, I found myself stressed and anxious, with very little to show, except for these constant thoughts about being a man and what that really means. Growing up, I was coached all the time to be a man or to make myself a man. It was kind of crazy. It's like people were always playing defense against the chance that you may be too feminine or that you might turn out gay or just not be the man that others wanted you to be. And it was really silly shit too. People would say dumb stuff like, make sure you wear a belt or your penis will fall off. Chewing gum is not for men. Don't chew gum. Your penis will fall off. And when I started growing facial hair, they'd be like, don't you think about shaving that? Let that mustache grow in. Or it'll grow in like mad bristly whiskers and your penis will fall off. Man, as if growing up first generation Mexican Chicagoan wasn't tough enough, I had to live with the constant stress that if I messed up in the slightest, my dick could fall off. I assume all that stuff was part of some elaborate effort to enforce some kind of masculine code and to overtly communicate the expectation of you as a man. Be a man. Make yourself a man. To say that to someone is to implicitly say, you're not man enough. Not now. Not yet. Be a man. Make yourself a man. To say that to me as a kid was to deny that I wasn't robbed of my youth and innocence already. That I wasn't already forced to become a man. In a vacuum, growing up too fast, sooner than I should have. What about the physical violence inflicted at and around me as a kid? How I dealt with that, continued on with that, made peace with that. Was that manly? Was I not man enough when I faced racism and hate at a very early age and was left to absorb, react, and retaliate on my own? When I sacrificed and compromised my childhood as a parentified child to help raise my 3 brothers while my parents worked multiple jobs and dealt with their own issues as first-generation immigrants? Was I not man enough to do all that and maintain my grades, set examples, referee, and put my family and the greater good ahead of myself? Regardless if I was man enough or not, I did it the best that I could, pushing forward, making peace with demons along the way. But if it all ever became too much and I cracked and cried, or even if my lip would come to quiver, I'd hear, be a man, make yourself a man. As if I could hit a switch and some kind of masculine superpowers would kick in to fix everything. As a kid, I was forced to bury my feelings and emotions and hide my bruises. I wasn't allowed to be a complex human being while working through complex situations. Instead, sometimes I was left with a flattened spirit when there were multiple layers and dimensions to my personality, experience, feelings, and dreams. Even though it would have been mad easy to give in to gangs, drugs, or crime, I never did. I didn't quit on myself or my family. I always got myself together and just made it work. The show must go on. But where did I learn to cope, to support, to keep wanting better things for myself and my family, to be all the things I needed to be for everyone that needed me to be them? As a man, I still pride myself on this quality to this day and provide that presence as a husband and father to my family. I realize now that I picked that up from some very special women in my life. From my grandmothers, my mother, my aunts. I was fortunate enough to spend significant critical time with them, lucky enough to receive their love, nurturing, and direction. The women that would take care of me when I was sick and chase me with a chancla or sandal when I misbehaved or wouldn't listen. The ones that would tend to my wounds and made sure I did good in school. The ones that would pray over me. All of them playing multiple dynamic roles within their own families. All of them with their stories as fighters and survivors. And now with my kid, I see that same presence in her life through my wife. And I'm ever so grateful for all of us. It's funny though, nobody ever said to me, be a woman. Make yourself a woman. No one said, be like your grandmother, your mom, your aunt, like your wife. But no one had to say it, because we all know actions are louder than words. I saw it and still see these women do their thing, and I know for sure that they have directly influenced the man that I've come to be, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So, to the question, am I man enough? I know that I am. I'm man enough to know that you can't tell someone how or when to be a man. It's an ever-changing, never-ending, multiple inputs and outputs kind of thing, unique to every individual experience. I'm man enough to allow my development and growth as a man to be influenced by even the least masculine presence, and to appreciate and learn from that place and not feel compromised. I'm really glad I was able to make it out tonight. I really did struggle, but I ended up digging deep and felt like I learned and grew from this experience. I've just started down this path. I'm not done yet. But this is why storytelling is so beautiful. Just when I thought I would have to cancel, I couldn't quit. For me, so far, the difference between a story being therapy or therapeutic has shown itself just about every time that I've done a gig. Thank you, Ada, for allowing me the opportunity, and to all of you for sharing this moment with me. I'll catch you on the next one. One love.